100 kilos of muscle behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're
trying to save itself.
Exactly.
You know? So,
That'll go free like butter.
I can imagine. Like 90 kilos of just pure pig muscle throwing these tusks around is so fucking dangerous. Bang, welcome back to the #1 podcast in the world. Thank you guys so much for smashing the subscribe button. As you're well aware at this point, we're on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So if you haven't done so already, here's a black screen. And at this black screen, I want you to have a long, hard look in the mirror, because right now you're the type of person who isn't subscribed, and we don't fuck with that over here. I am in with a banger of an episode today. I'm super excited to announce that we have got the boys from Sporting Bullies over here, the primal hunters who are ready to take over the internet with some of the best dog content, boar content, and just, I think, broad hunting content in general. I mean, you guys branch out a fair bit.
Do a bit of everything.
A bit of everything, right? And so I'm joined here today with Javier Britos and Matty Green. We're doing this podcast post-hunting trip.
Post-hunting trip, yeah.
You guys took my virginity, my hunting virginity.
We fucked that shit up.
And I have to say, man, if there's anyone else that was going to tag team me and take away my hunting virginity, I'm glad it was you two.
And my dad.
And your dad. And of course, big shout out to your dad, who I'm sure is tuning into this episode and he's shaking his head already.
Yeah. That was good.
So yeah, why don't we start with that, our hunting trip? I mean, it was, for me personally, the experience was really eye-opening. I've never had even thought to go out to Outback Australia and go and kill some wild pigs. Like, it had never even occurred to me that that's a reality.
And a baby goat.
I really was hoping you weren't going to bring up the goat. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, it was a mad, super fun experience, and you guys made it. Like, you guys made it so much fun. So initially, thank you.
It was a good time. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Good laugh.
Yeah. So, and you guys pretty much grew up in that scene, from what I understand. I mean, Kavi, you obviously had your dad as a role model, and you spoke about a fair bit what a massive influence he had on you growing up.
Yeah.
You often did those trips, and you often were just kind of immersed in nature and out there in the wildlife, just killing shit. So yeah, let's break it down a little bit. You guys hit me up on Instagram. You said, hey, we're going to go do this hunting trip in a month's time. Let's film some content. Why did you feel compelled to invite me? I think that's my first question.
I feel like we had to take someone from this environment, get off the couch, get in there. And, we saw that when you got choked out on that one episode, we're like, you know what?
Oh,
that was good. How can we top that?
Right.
Because that's already at the top.
It is. Yeah.
Get it? Like reference ATT.
Hey.
Yeah, that was mad content. And we're like, how can we compare ourselves to that? We're like, let's take him hunting. Let's show him, how it's done. Let's get a knife, put it in your hand and
see what I do with it.
See what I do. Yeah, like us three were like, no, this guy's not gonna do anything. Yeah, shit.
I have to say, you guys took a big leap of faith with just leaving me with a knife out there, because I didn't really go into it with too much prep. Like, you guys kind of told me what to bring and whatever, but you guys saw it. Like, on the first day, I rock up the way I always rock up, in a pair of skinny jeans and a loose shirt and some white shoes.
6 hours away in the middle of the bush and you got skinny jeans on.
And I didn't really know how out of place I was, or how out of touch I was with this world, until we rocked up to Tottenham.
Yeah, in the pub.
So we get to Tottenham, we get to this pub and I kid you not, this is a population of 7 people. There are 7 people in Tottenham and they all know each other.
700, 600.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. It feels like that.
It feels like 7. It feels like 7.
Thanks for the correction, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's a very small town and everyone knows each other. That's the first thing that struck me about this place. Everyone just knows each other. So when you go into this pub, it was incredible to see the reactions off the bat.
Yeah.
it was like I've never seen necks turn that fast in my life. It was everyone just snapped and looked over. And I was like, "Who are these guys?
Kind
What are
of
they
makes it
doing
awkward
here?"
when you walk in.
Yeah, nah, full on.
Yeah.
Matty fits in all right. Better
Yeah,
better
get
than
the
us.
mullet out
Like,
a
you
bit,
know.
The mullet. Turn this
Yeah.
aside so they can see it. I mean, that is.
Side of my turn.
Yeah, that's the one.
Got it tied up at the
You've
moment.
been working on that, son.
Yeah, it's been about a year.
Far out. So you blend right in.
Yeah,
You're like,
pretty much.
oh, yeah, he's from just the town over. Probably.
That's why when I started talking to old mate when we were there,
Yeah,
just talking to me like he knew me his whole life. It's like, well,
yeah.
you're right.
And what was so interesting about it was how quickly you kind of have to learn to adopt your new environment, and I found myself talking a lot slower, and I found myself talking like a lot
You speak
rougher.
like them, yeah.
Yeah, you just take it off.
Yeah, you take it on,
You take it on, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was awesome. It was awesome. So we go from there to the pub, and then I still have no idea what's going on at this point. Like we just get to the room and I'm thinking, oh, we're just gonna go straight away.
Yeah.
Like I thought we were going from the like little cabin that we're staying at on the farm to straight into hunting, but it wasn't like that at all.
Nah, yeah, we had a little sleep. Sort of. My dad was a bit. He's bad.
snoring,
He's snoring. He's full on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But then what? We went to bed like 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
9
something
o'clock,
like
and
that,
then
yeah.
got
Arguing
up
about
at
what time to get up.
got up at what 3, 4.
I was like 2. Yeah, we got up at like 2 in the morning. I think so, yeah.
I mean, I'm not even sure if you slept.
I didn't sleep. I had
You
one
did
hour. I
not
had 1 hour.
sleep.
Yeah.
The earthquakes that were coming out of Jose's nose were ridiculous.
Oh my god. He's gonna pump you.
And there's gonna be a lot of that today.
We're a bit more comfortable now, especially spending 6 hours in a car together.
Oh yeah. And so yeah, we go straight from that into the 4-wheel drive, and we just take off.
Yeah.
And we round up the dog. No, the dogs are still in the cages at this time, and we kind of take off, and we go into just dirt roads and all these empty paddocks, and we're searching around. I think, am I right in saying we had a lot of success pretty early on?
It depends the time, you know, for like that's pretty good. Like the numbers, I think 14 was 10 the first day.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but
it's
it was
pretty
like
good. No, it's
we
good
weren't
time.
even driving around for that long before we started getting pigs.
Oh yeah, because we hit
Yeah.
the first time before we even got onto the paddock. We hit on the first crop there.
Yeah,
So I think that was like 2 pigs, which is pretty good. We could have got more, but I think we're all a bit excited.
Yeah.
Like, we just wanted to show off. We're like, oh look, get this on camera, get this on camera.
There was a lot of planning in that.
Yeah,
yeah. The energy was fresh and everything was very exciting and pushing forward straight away. So I'm gonna like detail it from my experience of what I saw and witnessed, but you guys feel free to add on at any time. So we're kind of just going through these dirt roads and these paddocks, and the dogs are just, you can hear them working in the back. Like they're not running in circles, but they're panting and they're pacing, and you see them stick their head out the windows and they're like sniffing.
Yeah.
Like you see it in them, and they can hear the pigs, like, and smell the pigs, and they're just waiting for it. But like to the naked eye, it is pitch black.
Yeah.
Like Maddie, you had the night vision thing,
Yeah,
right?
night vision, yeah.
That helped a lot.
Oh yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah. How did you stumble into that tech? Like, was it you that brought it on?
Oh, I seen it ages ago.
Yeah.
Like when I first started going with Jose, I'm like, oh, where you get night vision, you know? And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. You know, he wants to stay
Yeah,
in his old ways, you know?
It's cheating,
Yeah, it's cheating, yeah.
you know?
Is it?
It's like,
Kind of.
depends, you know, if you ask a lot of people, and there's a lot of controversy on the thermal camera, but like, I feel like my dad's respectful, not like, you know, been
He's
been around it for a long time to be like, let's try something different.
Yeah.
It's not like he's cheating. He's caught like a shit ton of pigs. So I feel like, you know, he deserves to like just sit back in the car and relax with the camera, you know, like take it easy, man.
Yeah,
You know,
because I can't imagine doing it, because this was my first experience. I can't imagine hunting without the thermal camera.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine just using a spotlight which would be attached to the top of the car and just whimming that around, because the pigs would see you coming from a mile away.
yeah, but like even before then they can hear you.
Right.
So before
they
the
hear
car,
from ages away.
before the car, you have, you know, like a quad.
Like when we went to the first pigs we seen, they were already going.
Yeah.
They knew we'll come.
Yeah, they knew it would come.
Yeah.
But
no, go ahead.
yeah, like before it was walking, and we like how we had the collars on them to track them. Mm-hmm. Before then, there was no collars.
Right.
It was like, shh, that way.
Yeah.
And you walk that way, it's like, sounds like it's over there now.
Yeah.
Now we've got the collars. You sit in the car, like, oh yep, let's go there.
Yeah.
Easy.
So the dogs have attached to them like these GPS tracking devices, and they're not like super accurate. They kind of just give you a vague idea of the dog's 300 meters away, 400 meters away, 500 meters away. So obviously, like using that tech, the things like the tracking, the things like the night vision camera, like it helps a lot along the way, but there's still a lot of work involved. Like it's not like you just send the dogs off and your day's done. Like
Yeah.
So once the dogs first kind of got scent of the first pig that we caught, they almost randomly just took off. Like they didn't hesitate, they didn't hold back, and full credit to you and your dad for training them that way, because they were so just
And Matt.
of course.
It's a little bit, but not too much. Sorry, go.
That's all right. So we
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Matt, push it now for me, bro. So they just take
Is that fake laugh or real laugh? Okay, let's go. I'm back.
Back to business.
Back to business.
So they just take off instinctually, and I think what I found most confusing was they all just split off into different directions because there was more than one pig, obviously. So one goes, I think I was following you, Matt, at one point, and
So, yeah,
one
there was
just
pieces.
takes off like at the very end of the paddock. And by the way, I think it's worth mentioning to the audience that the paddock was like a couple acres at least, and then
Huge, yeah.
and then beyond that, there's just other paddocks and other paddocks and other. Like, how big is the property?
40,000 acres?
14,000.
14,000? Oh.
14,000
14,000
acres. That is
yeah.
fucking
And
ridiculous.
that's pretty small compared to like some places. My dad's hunted on like, I think up to like 1 million acres, like on big land. Yeah, big cattle.
Die out there.
Yeah, like if you get lost, that's it. Finished. You don't even make it. That's when he's like hunting up North Queensland and stuff. Yeah, big land. Yeah,
Get lost, have to get the
stupid
helicopter
big.
out.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. How do you even maintain 1 million acres?
You just let it like naturally.
do its
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So not even fences in some of those properties.
Mm.
But so we're lucky. We can just like walk around in circles until we find ourselves.
And it's pitch black. The dogs go, and you just start hearing this squealing, like just these pigs getting bitten by
The squealing was you.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, no, it was good. Well, I think that after you were running with me.
Yeah. So Maddie and you split up, and
Yeah.
I ended up following you.
Follow me.
And you just hear this squealing, and the dog's got the pig by the ears, and it's just like the pig's like desperately trying to shake it off, like desperately trying to get away, but the inevitable is coming. And so that I didn't know how I was going to react to getting that, witnessing that first kill. I didn't know how I would stomach it personally, because in my head I kind of built it up like, oh, it's no big deal, whatever. But everyone around me was like, oh, like, are you sure you're going to be able to do that? Like, that sounds so intense. So, I'm nervous. I've never seen, an animal literally die in front of me. And I have to admit, when you grab it by the leg, you flip it over, and you just stab it right in the heart. That's it, done.
Yeah.
Lights out. And blood kind of just starts pouring out straight away. And it's hot. It's very hot blood. Like, it starts steaming
and stuff. Yeah.
So, you
Oh, that's worth mentioning as well. It was freezing fucking cold.
That's all right.
It was alright. Yeah, I heard that all the time. I was in the back just fucking freezing.
And asleep.
asleep.
We're gonna put it on you. This one.
Bet.
This is my podcast now.
And then it just died, and I was kind of like, oh well, that's that, I guess.
Yeah.
And if anything, it kind of got me more excited to go forward with it and get my own first kill, because I was like, okay, I've seen it. I know what it looks like. I understand it. I've seen this thing that was once alive that's now dead. And if anything, you almost feel like you're doing a favor by killing it, so it doesn't have to suffer anymore.
Yeah.
You just want to get good at killing it so it doesn't, the faster it dies, the better.
Yeah, well, that's actually what we do. We have challenges with ourselves, because when you stick the pig, you don't always get the heart straight away. You have to fiddle around. So the quicker you get the heart, it's the quicker the pig dies.
Yeah.
So sometimes you miss it, and it's now the thing's bleeding out. Not the same amount of time, maybe a couple seconds, but the quicker you get in the heart, the quicker it dies.
Yeah.
The next pig.
And it also puts more pressure on you to get to the pig faster as well.
Yeah.
Because you're putting the pig in danger and you're also putting the dog in danger if you don't get there quickly.
Yeah.
And that's an important aspect of it. Because I think people may, and it's worth prefacing firstly that these pigs are a massive issue to the Australian agriculture, to the Australian farmland. They wreak havoc for farmers. They destroy crops. They spread disease. They breed like fucking crazy. We're at a point in Australia right now where there are literally more pigs in Australia than people.
That's crazy.
I'll say that again. There are more pigs in Australia than people. That's just how widely this problem has become. So to all the vegans that are listening out there, tough fucking titties. This is an issue, and Australia does have to deal with it.
You saw some of the damage that they've done, that sausage.
Yeah,
they call the sausage with the wheat. So they ate that. The fences, the crops. You were able to see it yourself. It's not just a joke.
Yeah,
it's serious. Yeah,
and they don't give a fuck. They'll find the wetlands and they'll just roll around in it and tear up is it called a pigsty? Is that what's the wild pig version of a pigsty? The little beds that they make.
We just call it pig bed.
Pig beds, yeah. So those pig beds that were full of water and I assume very nutrient dense turf, all of that gets destroyed because the pigs just roll around in it because they don't have
the
sweat.
wallows.
Yes, the wallows.
Yeah.
They just completely tear up all that ground. For people who aren't aware, I'm just trying to keep in mind the audience so that we can kind of keep them on pace as well. Pigs don't have sweat glands.
Yeah, no.
So because they don't have sweat glands, the way they cool down is rolling around in water and rolling around in mud. And what that does is it destroys all the earth around it.
Yeah.
It can't be used, nothing can grow in there, and it's absolutely disgusting what you find behind. It's just a pile of shit and mud everywhere. So it is a genuine issue that hunters do have to face, and it does provide an opportunity for people like yourselves to go out there and hunt, but hunt in a way that's ethical and hunt in a way that's, net positive for Australia as a whole. And I think that's really important to get across because most people live in the city. Most people live in the suburbs. Most people don't witness it firsthand.
Nah. It's just all pretenders.
Yeah.
Nah. It's crazy. We're from the suburbs. Mm-hmm. You're from the suburbs, and then we go there every weekend or every second weekend, but we've just been able to desensitize ourselves from that.
Yeah.
Which is it helps a lot, because then I come back to the area and I'm like, I don't want to kill a poor animal.
Yeah.
It'll put me out 6 hours away and monster. And I think you witnessed firsthand how we changed. How we changed.
Yeah. I just went bloodshot and I was like, let's go.
Everything that moves would kill it. Eh?
Yeah. It's the reality of it, It's the reality of being a hunter and having to overcome those obstacles, even in your own mind. Overcoming that safe and gated life that so many people live and that you become so accustomed to, and then going out there and saying, okay, well, it's almost like those primal instincts kick in. I felt it in myself as well. As soon as you're out there, you're just in nature. You haven't showered for 2 fucking days. There's just dirt and blood and shit everywhere, and something takes over you. Yeah, it's instinct.
It's good, but in saying that, we're just killing for fun. You saw what we done. We skin, butcher, take back everything from the animals, and we use it to eat ourselves. But that time around, we took it just all for the dogs.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're just killing for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bonus. No it's a bonus because we get a thrill out of it because it's what we love. But we take everything back. So we took
Do you get a lot of pushback from people who may not be so well versed in this hunting world? Do you get people shitting on you and your dad and and Matt as well and the organization that you guys are building?
Yeah, all the time. So it's like, oh, what a waste, killing animals for fun. But it's not. It's more like for me, it's a job. It's a job. It's fun. We're using the meat for our dogs, our family. Like sometimes we'll catch a small pig and we're like, oh, we'll chuck it in the esky, take it back, and we'll eat it for the next weekend. And even like with Matt, we started giving Matt legs now, like the pig legs. Yeah. Love it, eh?
Yeah,
it's good. Fun. And you spend like a couple $100 on dog food, like a month, a week, and now you got food for the whole week. Put in the freezer, or even like save it for later.
Yeah.
Sometimes we will grind up the meat for the puppies. So much things. We also got something for you.
Yes, you did.
Should we show it now or later?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? We took back some of the pig for Luca.
So talk to people. What is that?
So here we have a pig tusk. So this was one of the big ones we caught. I think it was like 85 or 90 kilos. Push 90. Yeah. Always add 5 or 10 kilos extra.
Add GST.
Yeah, so this is we weren't able to get both, but we got one. So this is your souvenir. This is the pig that almost took you. Maybe we can put a bit of that snippet on the.
Yeah, sure. I've got the footage. So.
When you got chased by that, so that's yours.
Thank you very much, sir. So this represents our.
That's becoming a man. That is becoming a man.
I'm gonna wear
when a boy becomes a man.
Yeah. This is my first ever boar kill, motherfuckers.
That's it.
It's these are mean fucking tusks.
Yeah, and they're not like they're sharp, but they're not as sharp as you think they would be. But you keep in mind that you have like 100 kilos of muscle behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're
trying to save itself.
Exactly.
So that'll go free like butter.
I can imagine. Like 90 kilos of just pure pig muscle throwing these tusks around is so fucking dangerous.
Very dangerous.
It's so dangerous. Like there's a very high risk when you're going pig hunting, but in particular when you're going boar hunting, because the boars are so much stronger. They're so much smarter. They're so much more... they have so much more survival instincts, because in order for a boar to get to that size, it needs to outlive all the other pigs. Yeah. So they become extremely territorial and they become extremely conscious of how its entire environment is acting around it. And I didn't fit the environment and knew that straight away. So why don't you break down from your perspective like that boar kill that we got?
So the one there with the tusk?
Yeah, the one with the tusk.
That was our last pig.
Very last one.
That was our very last one. That was our...
Quarter of the day.
We'll just do one more run, and I think that was number 18. That was number 15 to 20 pig, and we're like, we'll just do one more paddock.
Yeah.
And we got to that one spot, and then...
And I swear to you, your dad said one more paddock at least 5 times.
Yeah, 5 times. Yeah.
It was 6, okay? Yeah, but but it counts.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
It does count. Yeah. So it does count, he's like, we'll just do one more paddock. And that was the pig that we're looking for.
Yeah.
We caught a lot of pigs, but they weren't nothing too big, I think, or around 50 to 60 kilos.
Yeah.
And then we hit, the big one, and that's what we look for. That's the main goal is that pig. Yeah, we get all the ones in between, the small ones, the female ones, but the big boars, that's the one we want. And you were lucky enough to get it with us, and you were on it by yourself for a good 10 minutes.
That was a sight when we came up over the hill.
Yeah, so you guys had gone separate ways again, you kind of split up to get to each one of the dogs, and I think this time I followed you, Maddie, right?
Yeah, I think me and you got 2 small ones.
We got 2 small ones together, and I was pumped up because it was the first time doing it by myself, because at this point I'd kind of been supervised for all the other kills that I had landed. But on this one, you were so busy with one, and I could hear the squealing just over the hill, maybe 20 meters that way. I was like, fuck it, I'll just go myself. It was a decently, I'd say, 40 kilo pig. It was nothing crazy.
Yeah.
go flip it, kill it, and then I hear barking, and I'm like, "Fuck." I haven't heard barking before.
Yeah.
Like, that's usually not a good sign,
Yeah,
right?
normally we're like, oh, okay, all right, we're on here.
And at this point, you had left, and you kind of just called out to me like, "Oh, I just drag it back to the ute."
Yeah.
So I go over the hill to where the barking is, and I'm like, "Fuck, what's that?" I'm gonna go check it out. And then when I get there, there's two dogs. I can't remember which ones they were, and they were on this motherfucking massive boar, and then that reality hits. You're like, "Oh, I can't leave." Like, I can't leave
Can't
the
walk back over
dogs
the hill.
here.
Yeah.
I can't call you guys. I'm like, "Hey, I need a hand." Because
Keep in mind, we would just walk back all the way back to the ute,
Yeah.
and we're all like, "Yeah, drinking."
You'll be right with that one.
and I'm not frozen, but I'm like very conscious of the fact that these tusks are looking right at me. This boar is whipping its head around. I remember I tried grabbing its back leg once, and it like literally just kicked me off. And I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to go in with both hands and just like pull it and try and figure this thing out. And I'm just like waiting for either you or Matt to rock up and help me.
No, we'll still.
I'm still drinking there.
And then finally, as I'm like about to flip it, it just turns and starts charging at me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I have to run right out of the way. And I think I got this on camera. I think
Yeah,
we
the
have
whole thing was
footage.
on camera,
The whole
yeah.
thing was on camera. And thank God that's right when you and Maddie rocked up and
Yeah.
the reality of the situation kind of kicked in.
You
And
can hear us in the background.
Yeah,
on the
you can
video.
hear us rock up and we're like, "Oh, yes, yes, yes."
I think at the point where the boar charged at me, you guys just started laughing.
Yeah.
Like you both just started. You know, this might be my most controversial opinion I've given to date. No one cares. It's not the number one podcast. Keep saying we're on a mission. You only got 60 views in 2 days. 3, 2, 1. Bang. Welcome back to Hemp Canned Labs, a proud sponsor of Luca's podcast. These guys have an entire range of CBD oils, gummies, and vapes for all you smokers out there that specifically is designed to provide you with high quality CBD. So whether you're trying to deal with stress, anxiety, muscle recovery, or you just enjoy that relaxation effect that comes with CBD. I use it personally before every podcast. It helps deal with all the stress and anxiety that comes in with recording these episodes. And if you use promo code LUCA, you're going to get 15% off your next purchase. Check out their website. The link will be in the bio, in the description, wherever you're watching this, you will be able to find it. Thank you, and back to the program. Dying of laughter.
Oh, no, that was good. But we were like, "Oh, what's taking him so long? You know, fuck, this guy's chickened out or something, you know?"
That's what happens when we bring
Yeah.
newbies on hunting trips, man.
Get
Fuck.
there and I'm like, "Oh, shit." Lucky we walked over. Otherwise, you know.
Because there is a reality where you guys don't. Like
Yeah.
that could have happened.
Yeah, and it happens a few times.
Yeah.
Because we're like, "Oh, we're doing stuff and like our dogs take off. So we have to go to them. But, you know, if we've got our own problem happening now, like I think you're dragging the pig back.
Yeah.
I was giving high fives to my dad, you know, like, yeah, we hit a mob, you know.
Yeah, you were super busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I said, "Oh, no, we'll go have a look." And then, man, you made the trip. That's it. You know,
Yeah.
and then we'd spend like 2 hours taking pictures, making it look like 150 kilo boar.
Yeah, and you know, we ended up, you know, sticking it. Well, you did. You had the honors of sticking it. You got to get that final kill, and
Sorry.
made Maddie and I drag out a 90 kilo boar.
I dragged it. I got on film. No,
we
actually,
had turns.
we took turns. We took turns.
Yeah, you know who didn't take turns? This guy. I was there from beginning to end. I dragged it all the
That's
way.
the experience. You're lucky there was no gates.
Really?
You would have been on gate, bitch.
Yeah.
What's a gate, bitch?
Every
Maddie.
gate we pull up to,
Maddie.
you get out and open it. We drive in, you close it, then you get in the car. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
I've
no
done a few
gates.
gates in my time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it was a hectic. It was a really fucking fun experience. I don't know. What else can we touch on about the trip that we can talk about?
That
What
we can
stood
talk
out?
about.
Yeah.
There's a bit.
What did you guys want to? What stood out to you guys about the trip? What did you guys have fun with?
like for me, it was the experience of seeing, like, watching you experience it, you know, and you took it very well. Like, I honestly thought you were gonna freak out, but you did. Like,
Really?
Yeah, you did really well. Yeah. Especially when we gave you your own knife and you stuck your own pig, brought it back and stuff. But we want to know how you felt about like the rawness of it, because like it is a bit confronting at some stages.
I think I was okay with most of it. I think the only time I really like got grossed out or freaked out was with the gutting. The gutting was a lot. Gutting was a lot. So why don't you explain what is gutting? Why do you guys do it? And why does it smell so fucking bad?
Yeah, so we can't always take the guts back. No one really takes the guts back. So usually we just we gut it there then and there. My dad, we just watch. And so I think by that stage we had like 4 or 5 pigs, 2 goats.
Yes.
And for some reason the goats stink a lot more. I don't know why,
man.
It just
it was putting me off too.
I don't know, I was too busy laughing at this guy. And so we just gut them. Sometimes we skin them. Like the goats, we skin the goats.
Yeah, so they're dangling upside down by their hooves on the back of the ewe.
Yeah.
And you literally just get a knife and like straight down the middle of the stomach.
Straight
and
down the middle,
all the way down. And it's not like clean. Like you kind of have to hack at it a little bit because it's like got thick skin and like thick muscle tissue to get through before you can just watch this bag of guts literally fall out of it.
Yeah, but with the goat and the pig, there's different ways to skin it and gut it. Don't really want to get into much of the pig one because you gotta stick your finger somewhere you don't want to. So different people have different techniques. But my dad was also a butcher back in his early days.
Really?
And plus he's very experienced, you know.
Yeah, I did get that vibe from him.
Yeah, so you obviously pick up a lot of things, you know, when you're doing that stuff, and you can't like cut the guts open because then you contaminate the meat.
Right.
So that's why he's very careful. And after that, we'll cut it up into pieces, or depending, sometimes we take the whole carcass and then we just chuck it in the esky. And if we're closer to home, we usually keep it for ourselves. You can still eat the meat. Otherwise, we just freeze it for the dogs.
Is there any part of the organs that you can eat, like the liver or the kidney or anything like that?
You can eat it all, but I probably wouldn't eat it.
No.
Yeah, because you'd be I'd probably eat it. But I'd eat everything. But just to be safer, you wouldn't want to eat those things. Probably really good, probably better than the store-bought stuff, but I wouldn't take that risk.
Yeah.
I just stick to the meat.
How do you guys pick when the meat of the pig is contaminated and when it isn't? Like, how do you know?
Well, for us, we it's you look at the pig. You know, if you see it like the pig looks healthy, it's a better chance that it is healthy. But like you also cook the meat, so you're killing off the bacteria and stuff. And we've probably had like over 100 pigs before, you know, or like for the last 24 years, and I've not once got sick.
Yeah.
But if you see a pig that looks pretty disgusting, you know, you're not gonna eat that.
Check its insides too when you gut them and stuff.
Right.
Look for parasites and stuff.
Because I remember you got a DM about that.
Oh yeah, someone did say like, "Oh, don't eat the pigs," and
a lot of people do say that.
I love my bacon. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, like you chuck that on the spit.
You know, when your dad was walking back with one of the pig legs in his hand, I was like, "Fuck, that looks good, eh?"
Yeah.
The ones we're walking back with.
Yeah, the
little ones.
We're playing them. Yeah, like it's just the risk you take. But then again, you're cooking the meat, and we keep in mind that if we're 6 hours away, we have to make sure that it's
refrigerated.
Yeah, or on the ice. Otherwise, it's gonna get yuck. But then most of the time, it's usually good.
Yeah.
So we haven't had a run in, but there are some diseases and stuff. Like in Queensland, they have the brucellosis. Yeah, I can't even say it. Yeah.
What's that?
So it's one of the diseases where like the testicles blow up, and it's pretty pretty bad. I don't know too much into it, but yeah, if the dogs grab it and stuff, they get contaminated, and then they're infected, and I think they can pass it on to humans, and there's no cure for it.
Fuck.
Yeah, pretty sure. I'm not a doctor.
Would it be mad if it made your balls go massive?
I'll find out.
Yeah, that's one of the realities of boar hunting, man. It's a different world.
Yeah, there's so much stuff like, man, snakes, sticks.
Yeah. we got off the hook pretty light. Like, I didn't see any, aside from boars, I didn't really see many predators that could have really taken us out. But you go in any land like that, you're bound to find snakes and spiders and a whole bunch of shit that will take you out if you're there long enough.
Yeah, so, like, I'm more worried about the snakes. Like, we got I've seen like the red belly, brown snake and stuff. And depends where you go. You get the taipan.
Ooh,
I think that's number one.
Yeah, isn't it like the most venomous in the world?
In the world, yeah. I'm just chill, just chilling there.
For me, it's the mice, bro. The mice and the rats.
Yeah, but like you saw like us, like we're running it in the night.
Yeah,
there's no footpath.
Yeah,
just running. You can step on a snake easy.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
You probably have. You just didn't know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, don't say thanks. Scary.
Yeah. I'm scared of spiders.
Yeah, but you dodging snakes, dodging spiders, dodging the boar.
Nah, I see the spiders, I freak out.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's good.
Yeah.
Dodging everything, diseases and stuff.
Yeah, but that's just like being in Western Sydney. Ooh. And the shooting part was heaps fun as well.
Yeah, really good shot, over here.
Yeah, you've got a fucking shot on you, man. You were clearing.
Shot the air. Pretty good.
You were clearing some pigs from long range, man.
Shot that tree.
Matty fucked up that Coke can real proper, bro.
Yeah. With a rock. In the woomera.
How long have you been shooting for?
That weekend that we went?
Yeah.
Probably his third time.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, well, like I've shot around a bit, but I think up until like maybe 2 years ago that I started shooting more often.
Right.
But it's more like just for fun. Yeah, like you can't really the gun like kills things straight away, apparently, from some people, but
depends.
Yeah, well, like you shoot in the leg, the poor thing's gonna suffer,
Yeah, damn, I would hate for that to happen.
Yeah.
That poor goat.
The poor goat.
The poor goat.
What goat? Yeah, like it's just more for fun. So we don't use the gun much. It's just
so you don't go to the range or anything like that?
Nah. Like ever since I got my gun license, I'm like, we'll go to the range, me and my dad, just for fun, like learn our gun, and we still haven't been.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys, we need to stop for a second because I want to ask you something. Do you know what the number one regret is for a human being? It's not betting on themselves. It's not taking a chance, and it's not chasing that dream that you often see discussed on this show. And do you know what the number one reason as to why people don't do that? It's because of money. But if there's anything I want you to take away from this podcast, it's that you can. You can go and chase your dreams. You can travel the world. You can start the next Fortune 500 company. That's why I'm super excited to announce that I've partnered with Monarch Financial Group. Monarch Financial Group are a team of mortgage brokers who are absolutely committed to making sure you get access to the money that you need and the education that you need. They've got teams of mortgage brokers with over 10 years of industry experience. And that experience goes towards fighting tooth and nail to make sure that you get the best deal possible. So it's time to stop procrastinating on that dream. It's time to go to monarchfinancialgroup.com.au. Make sure to mention Luca's podcast in the process. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the dogs as well. I know your dad's very involved. Big shout out to Corsair. I know your dad's very involved in breeding them and training them and getting them to the point where they are ready to just go out into the outback and become these savages. these absolute killers that go out there and don't give a fuck. Like the dogs don't care. They'll just go. They don't care whether it's a little piglet or they don't care if it's a 90-kilo boar. They'll go after it. They just want to chase down the animal, and there must be such strength and power and focus in these things. Like, how do you get them to that point?
So it's just consistency. Like he can talk a bit about his dog.
Yeah.
Don't buckle. You got this, mate. You got this. Yeah. So like I'm pretty good like with our dogs, but he's got one of our dogs, and it's just consistency.
Yeah.
So you start from an inexperienced dog, and then you just go out more. And like,
is there a specific breed that a hunting dog has to be?
Every dog's a hunting dog.
Yeah.
Really?
Every dog can hunt.
Dude, I've got a toy poodle at home.
Yeah, a poodle.
Yeah, you can find something for it.
That's
real?
Poodles are one of the best dogs.
I don't know.
Like a pointing dog.
If you say
Pointer.
so.
Yeah.
Right now, the only thing he's attacking is the couch. He's just chewing on the thing.
Nah, like all the small breeds are all come from hunt. Like the hunting background.
Right.
Dachshund, Foxy Terrier, Fox Terrier.
Yeah. Sees.
Fox.
Yeah, I've got
Terrier?
a fox.
Fox Terrier.
No, I mean like I've got a fox terrier. Yeah.
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 That's what they go after. Fox. Padded out terrier. Heaps of stuff. Yeah. So they're all bred for small animals. And then we just we keep them in our lap dog. But yeah, just consistency with the dog. So obviously the more you hunt with the dog, the better it's going to get.
Yeah.
But if you have a small dog, it's not going to be better than, maybe a medium-sized dog that can run faster, jump higher, hold a bigger pig. So what we do is we just get the traits that we want. So we found like the bully, the stag, put it together. Now we have what we think is the best hunting dog for us. Yeah, all right, you can get a Chihuahua, do the same thing, but not as good as the other dog. And it's just like everything, like fighting, sport. If you're a tall basketball player, makes it easier.
Yeah.
If you're short, like you.
Yeah, look, I was never making. I'm sorry, bro. I was never making the NBA. It just is what it is, bro.
But no, sorry, bro. But
fuck, man, why are you gonna bring that up?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
All right, you could be like the best basketball player, but you're not gonna.
This is how we do. He goes, you could be the best.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean. Like, all right, you could be decent, okay, at basketball, but all right, obviously the guy that's a bit more taller than you,
Oh, absolutely.
you're gonna do a bit better.
Yeah.
Are
you guys at the point now, Maddie, I'm going to come back to you about the training question. We'll get there.
Think about it.
But are you guys at the point now where you can specifically point out like, oh, this dog is going to have really good cardio. Oh, this dog is going to be really strong. Oh, this dog is going to be really fast. Like, are you able to make those calls?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we have to see the pup. Like, it's better to see the pups first. But with our breeding, we know, like, all right, we're going to breed the dog that it has there. It's just up to the person to make it the best hunter.
Right.
Like, we've sold some dogs that they've got everything there, and you just have to give them that experience. So a great example is a few dogs my dad. Cut that one out. A few dogs that my dad bred, he gave it to his mate. And his mate, for the first time, I think the dogs were like 1 year old or 2 years old. They went out for the first time with no experience, and they went and caught pigs.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not just like my dad's breeding; it's dogs in general. You know what I mean? Like they have that. It's just in the DNA.
Yeah.
So
how do you get them to the point where they know to only go after the pigs and not go after kangaroos or go after emus or go after foxes? Like, how do you get them so that they're very disciplined about only going for pigs?
Yeah, so everyone's different. Like we had a farm before, so we used to walk the dogs, past the cows. We had domesticated pigs there and stuff, so they could even tell the difference between a domesticated pig and a wild pig, which is like, you think about not pretty hard, but like it's
for a dog.
It's challenging, Or even for humans, it's probably challenging. This one pink, this one black. Like same thing.
Yeah.
But like so we keep it very strict, very disciplined with the dogs, very firm. And then we take it into the hunting setting where we'll be walking and they'll see a kangaroo and they get excited, but we shut them down there. Just enough. Or like a few times you saw us.
You gotta watch the dog.
Yeah, like you have to watch the dog. Like and then like Matty would be a great example because hasn't like me born into it.
Yeah, you were born into it.
So it's
I'm still in training kind of thing.
Like I'm pretty like it's just second nature for me.
Yeah.
But with like my dad and Matty, my dad's like been teaching Matty like okay, you see the dog's getting more excited. There's a kangaroo there. Shut your dog up. Make sure he knows what's going on. But if Matty was to be like, oh, kangaroo, the dog's it's gonna vibe off him.
Excited, yeah.
Right. So they're very in touch with you and they can read off your energy as to whether to attack or just chill.
Pretty much. Like the dog's watching you too. Like they can feel you, seeing you. Me, because it was the first time. Yeah, now I get excited seeing anything. So my dog gets excited.
Yeah, because you're like, holy shit, a kangaroo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So like my dog like feels off that and like wants to go like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. But you gotta like shut it down.
Are there specific like strategies that you've kind of learnt from Jose along the way?
Yeah. Oh, geez, I've learned a lot. There's a lot of things I didn't know about dogs. So.
Everything he knows about hunting.
Yeah. Like,
so much.
Your dad literally is like the grandmaster wizard that just comes down with all this wisdom and kind of bestows it on people who are ready to take on those lessons. Like he just has so much information. He has such a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, he's been around the block. That's why like he's
young at heart.
Yeah, well, he hunts with a lot of different people. So we hunt with like people from Queensland. More south. People far out west and stuff, and you just pick up from everyone by his experience as well. He's hunting with people that have like hunted overseas and stuff, so he just gets it all, puts it all in, passes it to me, passes it to Matty, and then we learn from that.
Yeah.
I think we've taught you a few things from that little
yeah
clip.
I know how to run away from boars.
I wish we had our POV.
Yeah,
like that would have been so good.
Yeah,
I think on the camera you can just see you like shaking it.
I think there's a point where I dropped the camera because
there's a point where you're like, we laugh and then you stop and you laugh it off, but it's like you were like, oh shit,
a nervous laugh.
Yeah, it was a nervous laugh. But yeah, like I don't know, it's just like for me it's hard to say what I've learnt. But with Matty, like he's picked up a lot. Like
it's so much, eh?
But then like even like now people get like message me on my DMs. I think I got one still in my request saying, oh, I got a new dog. How can I train him? It's hard. Like it's just it's hard.
You kind of have to be there to do it.
Experience it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Like we can teach you how to train your dog, but there's so much to.
Is your dog's name Spot?
Turbo.
What's the dog name? Spot? I don't know.
There was one with a spot on
it.
there.
Patch.
That would be
Patch. My bad. Cut it.
He get cut if he's watching
this. What problems did you face with Turbo in trying to get him from just being a normal pup to getting him to the point where he was ready to hunt and go out there on his own?
I think the hardest thing was just stock proofing, really.
Stock proofing. Yeah. What's that?
So don't chase sheep, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Roos, everything, cows.
Yeah.
That was probably the hardest part because the dog's instinct is to chase something that's moving. That was the most challenging part.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be very time consuming. And I imagine for you guys as well, there's probably a lot of responsibility to be very active with the dogs. Like you can't just go 3 months without taking them out. Like it has to be very consistent in order for them to actually learn.
Start going backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They get comfortable in just being in the suburbs much like we do, and then they lose that edge.
Yeah, no, like it's good to stay active because like a few times like you have a close call. Like I don't think we've had a close call in ages, but like you'd be running in a paddock full of sheep and the dog's coming up and all of a sudden sees a sheep instead of the pig and it's like, whoa, do I grab this? Yeah. Especially if they run, like, if something runs, the dog wants to chase it. Just like Matty, you see something running, get excited, What are you chasing? Oh, lizard, yeah. Yeah. They're chasing pigs, mate. All the time, mate. So if you stay active, like, you minimize that risk. And then it goes back to the farmer. Like if the farmer knows your dogs are not stock proof or root proof or whatever, there's less chance you're going to be going on that property again.
Yeah, so this is what I really found fascinating about the hunting world that I didn't know. I didn't realize how territorial all you fucking hunters are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys do not like to share. See, that's what it is. That's what it is right there. It is. It's like, I'll share as long as you meet these certain like criteria. Like there's rules. Yeah. There's an underlying rule in the hunting world, particularly when it comes to what you can and can't hunt. There's things what property you can and can't be on. There's relationships you have to manage. Like I'm very fascinated by this world.
It's full on intense.
It's full on. So like what are the spoken or unspoken rules as to whether you can hunt in a certain property or not?
You want to go first?
You can.
Let's get the book. So yeah, like man, number one rule, like you don't take other people's properties. Don't grass cutting.
Yeah.
You don't grass cut. That's why like a few people have asked like, oh, can we come with you? Oh yeah, we'll think about it, because it's like a big process, because it may have taken me or my dad a long time to get on that property. And by a long time, I mean like 2 years, maybe more. Yeah, so like a long time, and just to have someone come there and ruin it, finished, and like it's happened to a few people, and like a few times it's happened like to us. We haven't like lost property, but we've had people like try and take ours, and we're not like really evil people. We don't care, but it's a shame when you feel a bit like cut, like it's just like a girlfriend, like, oh, like after you break up or like you're still seeing her, and then one of your boys go send her a DM and stuff, like what the hell?
What the hell?
Yeah. And just if you go to that extent of messaging someone, like that's just a no-go.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably the biggest rule. And
so who's got the most leverage in that relationship? Like who decides who can and can't hunt on the property? Who decides the process that you kind of have to go through? Who's holding you back from
that's just
2
like
years?
the farmer's top dog.
The farmer and the big chief.
Yeah, the farmer's like number one.
Yeah.
So if a few properties that we've hunted on before, they've given permission to other people. Mm-hmm. So we can't say no. It's like it could be the best property, but if they got permission, like someone else to come in, that's it. They have to go. And it's happened before where my dad's they've been booked in on a weekend, and those people hunting before or a couple of days before, and they were still there. And the farmer said, "Oh, you just have to leave now because Sporting Bullies is here or whatever." And they left, but they were a bit upset, so they sent us a message, and a few things happened, and now someone's not hunting anymore.
What did the message say?
So the message was like, "Oh, you kind of like ruined our trip because you guys came and that." And like they're probably listening to this now, but it is what it is, mate.
Hi.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, if you're gonna be like that, you have to accept the consequences. So, I didn't know what's going on. As my dad and his mate, they're out hunting, and I get a message on the page, and they're like, "Oh, you ruined our trip, whatever." I said, "All right." Make a phone call to my dad's mate, and he made a phone call to the farmer's top dog. He's the big bully. He's the shot caller, the warden, whatever you want to call him. So they call the guys, and now the whole group's not allowed to go back there ever again. Yeah. Apparently. So I don't know how much. Yeah. But it's like we don't mean for that, but just how it goes. Everyone's out to get each other.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was so much politics in it.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like we don't really care, but it's sometimes it gets to that point where like I've seen people like almost like get threatened. Like I'll stab you, I'll bash you.
For real?
Yeah, that's how petty they are. Yeah.
Whoa.
cavemen, savages, you know. Savages.
Gladly, they're out there. They're out there in the wild hunting and killing shit. It's not even that far of a step back. So what kind of, how do you maintain that relationship with the farmers then? Do you need water?
Yes, please.
You can ask, bro. It's fine. So, oh fuck, if I forget the question now.
Okay, no. Okay. Maintaining the relationship.
Yes. Okay. So how do you maintain the relationship with the farmers so that you don't get kicked off the properties?
Get rid of all the pigs.
Yeah, slab a beer.
Yeah, slab a beer.
Yeah. Well, with like one of the guys, Odin, we give him like some sausages and noodles.
Yeah,
you know,
meat.
Same with Ross. You know, like out in the bush, you don't have what we have down here. Yeah,
Right.
We got the Chinese grocery down the road that has everything, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff that's probably illegal and, you know, dried fish and that. You can't get that out bush. So what we do is we grab a case of Coke, beer, some sweets, goodies, you know, if they've got kids, you know, you just give them a little care package. You know, even just like if you're going into town, you're like, oh, look, call them up. We're passing town. You want some bread and milk. Those little things, you know, make a big difference. You know, and then like when people know you're good, they pass that message around, you know, oh yeah, the guys are back in town, and you do stuff like that, you know, go to the pub, have a feed, barbecues, like Matt said, you're killing the pigs for them. Yeah. Everything. If they need a hand, like, you know, they say, oh, I got to do round some sheep up or fix a fence. Yeah, put your hand up, you know.
Done that before.
Yeah, like, you know, like you go on our way hunting and then all of a sudden you have to help them.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you do. Otherwise, you know, like, oh, no, sorry, can't help you, but you're hunting on their property.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you go to someone's house and do you reckon you can wash the dishes?
Yeah.
You know, you're the guest, but, you know, they just cooked you the food.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well start scrubbing and that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, those are some things you have to do, you know. Other things, can't say on camera.
Do you have to bring Rebecca over once?
Farmer's daughter. Not me. Not me.
Hey.
Nah.
It was me.
Farmer's son. Put that on camera. Shit, this is gonna be one bad editing video.
This will take a while.
This take a while. Fuck. Can you beep that one out?
Which one?
The one I just saw. Like just beep. Like fuck. Just beep.
No.
Okay. You get demonetized here.
We're not monetized, bro.
Not yet.
Big shout out to my sponsors, Monarch Financial Group.
Shit. No,
it's fine. So we obviously saw that, you know, you have a very good relationship with apologies, I've forgotten the farmer's name. The guy
Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah. You guys obviously have a very good relationship with Jeff. I mean, we sat down and spoke to him for like a good hour and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah, and seems like a really nice bloke, and seems like he's really just friends. Like it's beyond just you do this for me, I do this for you relationship. That it genuinely seems like there's friendship. Yeah. Have there been any instances, if not of you guys, but of people you know of, where that isn't the case, where the farmer's been really pissed off that someone's hunting on their property?
Not necessarily, unless you're like poaching. Yeah, like, you know, poaching, or you've done something stupid, like, you know, like leave rubbish, or like for some reason you've killed one of their sheep, or left the gate open sometimes, you know, and these are like, you might think, oh, it's a small thing, I just left the gate open, I'm going through the gate again.
Yeah.
But that hour or 2 hours you're driving around, you just let the whole sheep go through, and, you know, now the farmer's stuck to like have to get it back, or
round them all up again.
Yeah. You know, or like if it's like cattle, now the cattle's onto the other paddock where it's now destroyed or jumped the fence, and this is like big money, you know. Yeah, like, but we never really had any incidents. We know people that have had. That's a little beep. Yeah. But like even with like one of my dad's good mates, he's tried to get on a property, and, you know, he asked, oh yeah, you know, come around for a hunt.
On the same property that you guys are on?
Like different one. We haven't had any problems with this one. And yeah, like, you know, you ask, oh, can we come for a hunt? Nah. don't talk to me about that. You know, and you keep asking like, oh no, piss off. But you build that relationship slowly. You know,
so you just probably have to keep taking
like that's probably one of the only incidents where like it's. Otherwise, I can't really think of anything.
Right. So
we've had a good run. You know, like we try and keep respectful.
What's the difference between hunters and poachers?
No. Yeah, just permission and being legal. That's it. Yeah. You're still a hunter, but you're just doing it illegally.
So you might actually just go onto someone else's property without their permission, start killing a bunch of shit without the farmer's permission.
Yeah, so not just that, like, so there's the term road running. Mm-hmm. It's just where people, like, they go on the road and they...
late at night.
Yeah, late at night or whenever, because some place, like, it's deserted, you know? Like, you're not going to see a highway patrol come strolling through, you know? Or, like, you know, someone in, like, an AMG, you know, come through, bop, 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 you know?
Yeah.
Nothing. But, like... There are a lot of like state forests as well, or like national parks and stuff that back up to like good properties. So these properties are like, you know, like mad sanctuaries for pigs, but you can't hunt there. You're only lucky if you have a property where you back up onto it or something.
Right.
Yeah,
so there's
like,
just an overlap.
Yeah. Oh, not an overlap, but like, you know, the border's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For the pig to go from one to the other.
And like my dad's been on a property where it's backed up onto a place that's been poached a lot.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the marshes. So it's like a swampland.
Mm-hmm. It used to be like a cesspool for pigs. Like that would.
Yeah, so this is like people like that are in the pig community, like, and they know the marshes, Macquarie Marshes. Probably shouldn't say that because everyone's gonna start poaching now. People know. Oh, that's the place. But if you can't get into a property there, most of the time they poach, or you know, they try and knock on doors, which is like going up to like the farmer's property and say, oh, hey, look, can I come and hunt there? Which again is like a 50-50, you know, it's either it happens or it doesn't happen.
It depends on how good you can sell it, I guess.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, you know, it's like kind of like going up to someone and telling me, oh bro, like I like your car, can I drive it? Yeah.
It makes us look bad too.
Yeah, it makes like other hunters look bad.
Yeah. Right.
You know, there's such a big community of hunters, you know, there's like people up here that are like very respectful, all the way to the bottom where like they're just scum, you know.
No one talks to them.
They'll poach, they'll cut fences and those
try and take your property.
Yeah, you know, like steal from the farmer and stuff. And those are the people that give us a bad name, you know. So like with the poaching, like that's you lose everything. You lose respect, reputation. There's big fines now. I think end of last year there was like a new act because there's so much poaching going on, because like, you know, nowadays people want to hunt but you can't really hunt, and I think a lot of people, they don't want to hunt the state forests because you can hunt the state forests legally. You need to have a hunting license and follow the regulations, protocols, but you're not going to be able to catch you know, decent pigs compared to some properties. So that's what people do.
Right. Does it become a problem if I go and get my hunting license and I go and get my gun license, or, you know, I just do all the paperwork that I have to do in order to become a hunter, and then I hit up Jeff and go, hey, Jeff, can I hunt on your property? Does that create a problem?
You get buried there. Nah, like, yeah, so that'd be a big problem.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That was really the fact that you guys both went quiet at the same time is really intimidating.
Nah, like yeah, like it's happened before where people they've come out with us, and then they'd be like, oh, they've tried and get in contact with the farmer or someone that knows the farmer, and it's like, no, it's a bit rude, you know, like you don't do that stuff. Like if you were to do that, we probably,
just because I took you a drive in my car doesn't mean I'm giving you the keys.
Yeah, pretty much. And like if you were to do that, it wouldn't be like, you know, it'd be pretty bad blood.
I'd be getting gutted.
You'd be looking like the pig. Yeah, no, like it'd be bad blood. And it's happened before where people have like got permission on the property,
right?
And like it's like, all right, now you got permission, but like we can't do anything. You're allowed to hunt there, right?
Yeah,
but yeah, between us,
you fucked up our relationship.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're dead to me. Yeah, like it's just rude, you know. It's like, Yeah, all right, it can pass, but yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
Like just something you just don't do, eh?
Nah.
Yeah.
You don't go against the pickers code.
Never. Yeah. Like some people do it. Heaps of people do that. Yeah.
Does it become do you get a pass if you don't know the other people in the property? Like, let's just say I didn't know you guys. Let's just say I didn't have this podcast interaction with you and we don't follow each other on Instagram or anything. Like, we're just both strangers and I start hunting on Jeff's property because Jeff's given me permission.
Yeah.
Does that make it okay then?
Yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine. But if I was to introduce you to Jeff,
right,
which we did, so back off. Yeah, no, like that's fine, and it's happened before, like where we've like, oh, we'll organize a hunt, let's go out.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we got my friends that got permission are hunting firstly, and then they messaged me a couple months ago or whatever. All right, all good. So we'll come see you next time. That's it, done. We're not like petty like that, but when it comes to like grass cutting, that's when it's like, oh, that's a bit dirty. At the end of the day, like like my dad's a pretty, like, even though he looks like he'll kill ya, he's pretty chill. He'd be
he's very chill.
He'd be dirty, like we'd be dirty about it, but at the end of the day, it's like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's just like ways people do it. Like if you was to ask my dad, hey, look, like if you were to ask him, oh, look, I really want to hunt, but can I ask Jeff? And he tells you to fuck off. That's all right. It's not gonna be. It's not as bad as like you message him or go up to Jeff and be like, oh, look, can I hunt here? Yeah, that's a lot worse. Yeah, it's still wrong, but not as wrong.
Yeah, it's so funny. I just imagined his reaction. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, if you want to ask him, you can ask him.
No.
Ask him.
No, definitely not. I as much as I love I love the experience of hunting and I love doing it, and I think it really transformed me in a way. Like, I became a lot more comfortable with the idea of death, and I became a lot more comfortable with the idea of having to kill for survival. Like, obviously we weren't going to go hungry at any point in time. Like, we had organized food.
Yeah. Well, we had snacks, everything. The bees.
I can't imagine what the ute looked like by the end of the trip.
Like, it was just filthy, filthy. The smell, smell like man.
It was kind of like I had this, eureka moment of, if I was ever in the situation where I had to go and hunt for my own food, I probably wouldn't be very good at it. I wouldn't be very efficient, but I know if it came down to it, I could go and kill something for the sake of my own survival. Yeah, no, and that's what I really took away from it.
You've got a few kills under your belt now.
I sure do.
Yeah.
I sure do. Virgin no more.
Thanks, Dad.
I love it. So whilst we were on the trip as well, I don't know if you guys want to talk about this publicly. I don't know if this is going to make it on the air, but you did mention to me that the idea of sporting bullies is to go beyond just, a team of dogs that are very prestigious in the hunting game and go beyond just shirts and logos and stickers, but to actually make it its own inherent breed.
Okay, yes. So that's like my dad's one of his big goals is to one day like have it be recognized as a breed. So his own mix. So we're a few generations in, and he wants to make it like there are dogs now that have like been recognized, like the Bull Arab. So it's like unofficial,
Yeah.
Takes a long time. But yeah, he wants to really register one of it, like his dogs, his own, like the name Sporting Bullies to be a thing. And
how do you do that? How do you make your own breed of dog?
You know what? I have no idea.
Right.
No, like I have a small idea, but there are registries and stuff because there are a lot of people out there that are breeding pure dogs that are not pure. So there is like I'm pretty sure a process and a lengthy one. But his main goal is just to like.
I imagine there's probably like a lot of DNA testing and the ability to prove that this is a sustained dog that has been bred for multiple generations.
Tests and stuff.
And your dad's very good at that. Like your dad knows to the exact decimal point.
Yeah.
what percentage of what breed. It's almost like
quick maths.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how.
It's almost like when you see a wine connoisseur, you know, when a wine connoisseur just gets the jug, and I'll probably get this one just for more drama. You know, when they just like smell it and it has hints of oak, and they have like that very fine-tuned ability to pick out the nuances. Yeah. And I think your dad's really developed that skill. Like he really knows exactly where the dogs have come from, what they've been bred with, what the future generations are going to look like, and beyond that, how well they're going to be at hunting.
Yeah. No, we've got a long way to go, but it's just his main goal. And ever since we started, like, I don't know if it's been before, but ever since we started sporting bullies, I see it a lot more. Like on Facebook and social media, like hashtag, you know, like sporting bully, or my dog's a sporting bully,
right?
And stuff. And like it's like, that's not like, because we haven't really like trademarked the name.
Yeah,
I think we trademarked Sporting Bullies Australia though.
Yeah,
but like sporting bullies, you know, you see it a lot more when there's people in the States with a battle cross, which is I think a people cross bull terrier. So they're pretty like big kennels and big names. Pretty sure so they have a different registry over there. But yeah, they started their own thing as well.
So do you think, not specifically looking at these people, but do you think people now are seeing the success that you guys are having and copying the breeding process that you're going under in order to get these bulls?
Half. Like, because the way we breed our dogs is a lot different to other people. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I guess it's like who does it better, you know, like. But then again, like a lot of people are breeding for money. So what we're doing is like, you know, we want the best dog, and up until recently, like, you know, we weren't selling dogs. We're just making the best dog, give it to our mates, hand them out, you know, and people just like, oh, I want that. You know, what dog is that? What breed is that? Oh, you know, we used to say what it was, and now we're like, oh no, it's kind of like my dog now. You know, it's not like it's an old school breeding. It's like, this is what I've been breeding, and it's not just a straight cross. It's now like my dad's have his different lines. He's got a massive family tree.
Yeah,
and now it's his own thing. And even when we go out places, like we went to the Big Ball Bonanza, and like people were like, oh, what's this? You know, is this one of the sporting bullies? And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, it's
getting wrecked.
Yeah. Flick his hair back.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you have a sticker?
Yeah, and that's now what he wants to do. He's like, oh, people know my dogs and that. Like, I want it to be the breed.
Yeah. Like
the Bull Arab. Bull Arab's like, you know, was like all this breeding, and now it's been fine line into the Bull Arab. You know, now we have our two different breeds put together down the line. Now we have a sporting bully. You know, so who knows? You know, don't want to jinx ourselves or.
Well, it seems like you guys are on the right track.
But yeah, that's what he's passionate about, and hopefully, we can help him. We can help him get there. So.
Yeah, it's so involved. You have to be so committed to the process and be so committed to that long-term vision, and not just getting caught up in the quick fix, the making that quick money off the side. Like, I don't want to fuck up your business here, but on average, like, what are these sporting bullies going for?
Oh, so like then again, like we have different percentages. Like the percentages again, like we have different breedings. We breed it more. Sometimes like the more bully, more. Not a show type, but it's more of a like a pet, not a pet, but not as good as hunting. So not that athletic, and so the prices will range, you know, from as low as 500 and upwards to like 2,000, depends. Yeah, but like it's not really about the money. It's more like okay, how much dog food are we gonna have to feed the dogs? You know, like It's what people want. So yeah, there is a market. Just like every other dog, like people are breeding French bulldogs for like $15,000, which I can't justify the price for.
Yeah, no.
But you know, like there's just a high demand.
Say $15,000.
Yeah,
that's fucked. Imagine dropping 15 G's on a fucking
for a dog that's gonna live like 5 years and spend a lot of like time in the vets.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, with our dogs, it's like it's not about the money. It's about like what people want.
Yeah,
this is what they want.
I think that's the difference as well with what you guys are doing that I really like is that not only are you breeding these dogs and, you know, having a lot of success with it, but you're doing it in a way that the dog's actually healthy and the dog's actually got potential to live a full and active life. Like, it's not like you're just breeding these dogs that are hot and in trend and everyone wants right now, like toy poodles, for example.
Yeah.
It's almost like you guys are looking for dogs that are going to get the most amount of efficiency, they have a job, they have a purpose, they're going to be healthy, they're going to be fit. I mean, your dogs, I've never seen dogs as fit as yours. They're so active. They can just take off and run for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of meters and not even break a sweat, you know, and then from there, go and find another spot, and then go find another spot, and then go and find another spot. Like, they work. They really work.
Yeah. So like, that's just you know, what we do. We just want, you know, for passion, not for profit. Yeah. So you know, our dogs, we got it because that's what we want for our people. Like, the people want them, so we're like, we'll make them. But at the end of the day, my dad's like, I want them. You know, this is my dog.
Do you run into the problem where people will want to buy your dogs and you're concerned about who the owner is? Like, because there's obviously this trend right now that we've seen online of bullies getting very fat and underused and getting, you know, quite big because they haven't been taken care of, they haven't had the opportunities to go and exercise, they haven't had the opportunities to go and be fit, and in many cases go and hunt. Like, how do you make sure that one of your sporting bullies doesn't end up in that position?
This guy got stuck with one of our dogs. It says a lot.
Anyone talk?
Yes, so like we prefer our dogs to go to working homes. But working homes, we mean like something that's going to provide like some type of sport work, so hunting or sleeve work, protection work.
Did you say sleeve work?
Sleeve work, yeah.
What's sleeve work?
So sleeve work is you know, when you see the people with the massive like bodysuit that the dogs, like a German Shepherd, would grab and shake out for protection. Yeah?
Right. Yeah.
So we've actually sent one of our dogs to someone that does that, but for his German Shepherds, but he does have the dog there.
That would be terrifying.
Yes, that'd be sick. Yeah.
Imagine breaking into a house and one of those fucking sporting bullies just comes at you. Oh no.
Yeah, and the one that we sold this guy was more of our the bulkier dogs,
right?
Not our athletic ones. Our athletic ones are more, you know, thinner, more leggier. Where the bulkier ones, you know, they're more bully, so they're more stubborn, tougher.
Yeah,
everything.
Which makes sense, because if you're going to try and stop a human being, you just naturally the dog's going to have to be heavier to do the job properly.
Yeah. So we sent him that, and I don't think it's doing sleeve work, but yeah, he's in the house where there are dogs doing that type of stuff, and he's a really good trainer, and that dog's in Melbourne.
Right.
Yeah. So we've sent like dogs to Melbourne, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
You've sent dogs to Hong Kong.
One dog.
One dog.
Yeah.
See, sporting bullies is international, baby.
International. But yeah. We just send them everywhere. I got a few people wanting to go to New Zealand. We know we have one of the, like, a big influencer wanting one of our dogs for a partner. So it's like, oh, you know, it's not about, oh yeah, we're going to make the money. It's like, oh, we're going to give this dog to a good working home, someone that's going to showcase our dog.
Yeah.
Like we try and get people that hunt regularly. A few times we send our dogs that we know they're going to be a good hunter to a house that's like, oh, no, we go once every year. And you're like, wow, you just let this dog, like, we just bred this dog for you, like, that has all these traits to make an amazing dog. And you've, like, now it's just sitting down and, you know, in the yard.
Watching cartoons on the couch.
Yeah, it's maybe still getting its,
okay.
Yeah, like, you know, living a good life, but it's not living its best life.
Leaving the car.
Yeah, that's fine. The audio only experience exclusive. Thank you very much, guys. Remember to smash the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. We will see you next time on another episode of Luca's podcast.